one game away from playing for a three-peat. We meet the Texas Longhorns in the Rose Bowl, your semifinals of the college football playoffs. And it's a rematch of last year's Rose Bowl, though the Cardinal took that one with a late game interception to seal it over the Longhorns, finding their second straight natty. Now we look to do the same against the Longhorns in our final year with the Stanford Cardinal. But expect Texas to put up a fight. Against ranked opponents this year, Texas has split, losing to Nebraska 28-25 in their opening game. But they would rebound in a big way against Oklahoma, taking the Red River rivalry 44-17. And that would only be to fall to Arkansas just a couple games later, 24-20. But in the Big 12 championship, they'd get another win on OU, 29-28, in a close game that took a 2-point conversion in the fourth to win it. And then in the second round of the college football playoffs, they would get revenge on Nebraska, 28-17, ending the Cornhusker season. And they've definitely got some guys to watch out for, starting at quarterback with James Biggums, the scrambling quarterback from Katy, Texas. He has nearly 3,300 passing yards this year, 33 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and he's hitting just about 70% of his throws, all of which have been for just about a first down apiece. On top of that, he has 717 rushing yards with 9 touchdowns and not a single fumble. And also in the backfield, you have Muhammad Honeycutt, who's been a dominant running back this season. He's averaging 5.6 yards a carry, 7 touchdowns, closing in on 1,000 in total. They also have a freshman running back who shows some promise, the yin to the yang of the power with the receiving back in Steve Bender. But he's one of the least to be worried about in that receiving game, as you have a 3-headed attack, Terrence Murray, leading the Longhorns with 11 touchdowns. Do not forget about Alex Quintero either, the sophomore. He has 10 touchdowns. And then Brendan Jeffrey with 7. For their tight end, Emmanuel Poe, he gets involved. He is second on the team in receptions. They do, however, have one hole on their offense, and that is through starting left tackle Martin Gaston. He's given up over a sack a game. But outside of him, their offense is strong. On the defensive side, they all fly around, they make tackles, they make big plays in the backfield as well, but are missing both their right ends in Jamie Funchess and freshman standout John Guy. So instead, they'll have to rely on Kona Nauta to make the big plays in the backfield, and down the field, you do not want to throw much to Paul Kadela. He is picking off passes left, right, and center. Expectations are for a tight game here down in Pasadena, unlike last week's Fiesta Bowl, but only time will tell. And it's time to get the Rose Bowl going. It's Legend and Ogbar taking the touchback for the Stanford Cardinal. It'll be Justin Sorensen and the Cardinal offense heading out first. They've been a highly efficient group throughout this year, last year, and a few years before that, constantly top in first downs. We'll see if that offense can keep things going today. It's a gain of 4 on first down for Joe Wesovich. Didn't see too much running success against Alabama. We'll see if the Longhorns can put together the same kind of effort. But in back-to-back runs, it's a first down here for the Stanford Cardinal. As they're at the 38, Sorensen making a check here at the line. As they will look to go with an RPO, read well by the outside corner. Garita makes the tackle after only a gain of 1, but it opens up the middle here, 2nd and 9. As the Cardinal go with a draw, Wesovich has to get a jump cut to find the gap. Josh Hall, though, looks to be in a bit of discomfort for the Longhorns. After a couple strong runs to open up the drive, 2 back-to-back only pick up 1. It's now 3rd and 8 here for the Cardinal. As there's a hard count, definitely some early movement, though they do not flag it as he gets back where he's supposed to be. Rolling and throwing, it's Kramer picking up the first down. tight end for the Stanford Cardinal, had a couple big plays last week, slides in between two tacklers there to pick up that first down. And they go back his way, another short gain. Cardinal definitely utilize a lot of those drag routes, the crossers, and get guys open that way. 2nd and 6 as it is play action. Sorensen is dropped, and it is Nauta. He came into this game 15.5 sacks, make that 16.5. 3rd and now, very long, though this is a free play for the Cardinal. As Sorensen tries to buy time, find some space, he inevitably gets tracked down. But thanks to that free play, they will have another go. This time at the 49, it's plus side. Tight shotgun look, hard count again, and Texas jumps. Just like Alabama in the Fiesta Bowl, unable to hold their water. This time it's Godfrey jumping off sides, and he's having to fill in that right edge rush spot with both of their better players currently out. 3rd and 4. As they go to the air here and nearly get the pick as the ball ricochets off a teammate. The Longhorns, they brought the heat. It pays off, but the Cardinal are not done out there. It's 4th and 4 at the 44. Hard count doesn't work. They try again, doesn't work, and now they snap that ball. Throwing outside, and Kramer, he's got the first down. A bit of a gamble out the gate here for Coach Barrington, but it's going to pay off for the Stanford Cardinal, keeping their opening drive alive as the Longhorns once again bring that blitz. It's floated outside for Jewell, puts the spin move on the corner, and he's down inside the 20. Cardinal back in action. Down at the 17, it's Wesovich checking in as he runs left side. He's got a gain of 3. And it's 3 rushes for him for 16 yards, a better average to start the day than in that last playoff game. Jewell, though, checking right back in as they go his way. Gets another juke on a DB, making this 3rd and 1. We'll see the 3rd running back for the Stanford Cardinal check in here. It's Bigums. He's a mix of a power and speed kind of guy. Got the first down inside the 5. It wasn't utilized much the first half of the season, a bit more in the last handful of games. 1st and goal, Stanford. They stick with that same look, though flip the strong side. It's all covered up. Sorensen looks to scramble outside, but cannot evade. Obogu grabs that ankle and takes down Sorensen. They're going to lose a couple. Back at the 6, sticking with that strong eye. Following Babineau, Bigums down to the 2. Down at this goal line, Cardinal will check in a heavier look. Still in shotgun, though, as they will send Vallejo in motion left side. Sorensen with the keeper, and he didn't get the last block or two he needed. Longhorns stuff him inside the 1, but the offense is going nowhere. Now Kramer comes out to the left side. It's a weak eye with Babineau and Bigums, and they give it to the fullback and in. Just as they closed out the Fiesta Bowl, they open up the Rose Bowl with some fullback love. On 4th down, Sterling Babineau gives the Stanford Cardinal the lead here in the Rose Bowl. That caps off a long 8+ minute drive for the Stanford Cardinal to open up this game. It's the Longhorns coming out here the first time inside 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. And a big hit across the middle. That is J.P. Waddle with the tackle in as Damian Drogan, the transfer from UW, who had a phenomenal year for the Stanford Cardinal, got injured last week, but Texas responds as they find Paul over the top. Both the safety and corner beat deep. An 8+ minute drive for the Stanford Cardinal is answered within about 30 seconds by the senior receiver and Randy Paul of the Longhorns. Just a massive rarity this year for the Stanford Cardinal. They've not been beat deep often whatsoever, but a huge one here in the Rose Bowl. And it's back over to the Cardinal offense. This time we'll see if it takes them 8 more minutes to score. But for now, sends us to the break. First quarter has come and gone. A possession apiece And it is the Stanford Cardinal level with the Texans despite such a disparity in time of possession. But with 3 more sets of 9 minutes to go, Cardinals start here at the 17 with a 2nd and 9. It'll be a pistol look. Throwing this one outside, they find Lockett, spinning grab. And the freshman for the Cardinal has a solid gain, setting up a 3rd and 3. It's Babineau and Bigham's back in the backfield. Sorensen setting up his line. Hard count doesn't work. Bigham's finds a gap and will power through. His runs the last couple games really haven't been anything crazy, but they've come through for the Cardinal, converting first downs when they needed it. Wesovich checks in, and he's taken down the middle. Facing some of the top defensive lines in college football, those interior runs not quite opening up like they used to, but the screen looks to here. As Jewell gets outside, he's got a couple blockers set up and is finally pushed out at the 36. Texans honestly got to be lucky that it wasn't any more than that. As we move inside, 7 minutes to go now in the first half, it's Joe Wesovich down the middle, shaking off a couple tacklers and running backwards. He's going to lose about 5 yards. Looked like the last defender pulled him backwards, but the refs awarding 0 forward progress. It's 2nd and 3. And that one's nearly picked off. Lockett instead, he's got to break that one up, taking a massive hit. That ball was thrown earlier, would have probably been a first down. Rolling through, Conklin destroys the man down the middle. Not all too often we get to highlight our center, but wow, snapped that ball, destroyed a man, and got another block downfield. Throwing this one, they've got Lockett yet again, and this time it's a first down. He's racking up a few catches early on in this one, most of them short and underneath. 1st and goal. Texas spread out here as they hand it off, but respond well to the RPO. Going now to credited with the tackle. It's now 2nd and goal. Keeping 2 spread either side this time, pistol look. And another RPO, it's Jewell who shakes 1 or 2. He's got the Cardinal down to the 2 for 3rd and goal. From a shotgun look, it's Jewell, and he'll take it off the left side of the line. Cardinals stretched out the Texas front and then run it right off the left tackle's cheek. In for that lead and reclaiming the lead in the Rose Bowl about halfway through the 2nd quarter. This time, they did it in about half the time. But now they need their defense to not give up a touchdown, maintain that lead. As the quarterback scrambles, he gets by the first 2, 3 different defenders. A big gain, and that is the threat that Bigham's provides. He could throw the ball deep as we've seen, and he could run that ball well. Handoff down the middle is a big hit. Honeycutt only manages 2 on that run. Sets up 2nd and 8. As they go right back to the running game and stopped well, it's Rico Body. But Nathan Henderson, your Heisman winner, is down on the field. That is something no one wants to see. Vieira will check in for him here on 3rd and 8. Cardinal bring the blitz, but it's open on the outside, finding their tight end in Poe. Outside of scrambling the ball, he really is the safety net here for Bigham's. 1st and 10. They go with a run down the middle. A good cut finds a gain of 5. The Longhorns are finding success against this Cardinal defense. 2nd and 5 with about a play to go before the 2-minute break. Cardinal bring the blitz, but it's picked up well, leaving Bender to run for a nice gain. It's got the Longhorns inside the 2-minute break, down at the 28. Cardinal again bring the blitz, but it's picked up well, and it's out to Bender. From the backfield, he's got a gain of about 15. But now Nathan Henderson out, and you're missing your top linebacker in Damian Drogan. This defense looks a little bit disrupted in the front 7. Hard count, and now it's going to be a penalty on Alex Augustine. A rarity for the intellectual brutality. These are high-stake games, but you've got to come with a level head. 1st and 5 inside the 10. And the blitz doesn't work out. It's thrown and tipped to himself for the touchdown. Murray ricochets with the right shoulder and collects in the end zone to tie this game. A minute 24 left in the first half of play. And the Cardinal have taken at least 4.5 minutes to find a touchdown. Should have been a sack, should have been an incomplete pass. Instead, we are level. The big stages are made for big plays. And that was a big play. A minute 24, 3 timeouts. You start back at the 25. Can the Cardinal find a quick drive this time? As the pressure builds, that ball's out, and it's going to be picked off again. Sorensen forces things here in the playoffs. And the Texans now can take a lead. A field goal would do, but they've got a minute 16 to play with down at the 24. And it's their safety in Givens getting the pick. And it's a pick thrown by Sorensen in each of the playoff games as well as the Pac-12 championship. Can the Cardinal defense respond here, making a big play themselves, giving up a gain of 9. The Longhorns have definitely taken charge in this one. They also start the second half with possession. Throwing this one outside, it's Bender with a first down and a timeout call. And for the Cardinal, we have yet to see Nathan Henderson return. We'll get an update at halftime on him. As they bring the blitz, it's picked up well. Biggums escapes. He's got a path and finds the end zone. Through the air, Rico Body tried to lay him down before the goal line, but his momentum crosses, and it is a lead now for the Longhorns. If you're the Cardinal, you feel like you've got to find something here with 22 seconds, a field goal at least. We start back at the 17. Play action, rolling, throwing, and it's caught for the first down out of the 32. The big play there as they find Vallejo, but it does take off a good chunk of time here. Needing about the opposite 35 for a safe field goal attempt. Throws outside here, and that's going to find Bargava, who gets the first down. He's out of the 45. Feel like you're going to need a hit on something a little bit bigger, though, with 10 seconds to go here. Cardinal at the 45. They've got motion all the way across in Lockett. As he looks to get outside, instead stepping up, that's going to be Justin Sorensen. Tracking back is Nauta. Cardinal then forced to call a quick timeout, leaving 5 seconds. They keep their offense out here. It's definitely too far for a field goal attempt, as that one is lofted and intercepted. I don't know what happened on that throw outside of perhaps the ball slipping out of the hands of Sorensen. But it's definitely no attempt at finding a touchdown there. Perhaps they try to go with a quick throw, get some yards, call a timeout. But it's a turnover. That turnover takes us to halftime, with the Longhorns on top here, 21-14, as they scored 14 unanswered. Randy Paul got them going with that deep ball touchdown, accounting for most of his yards. But right now, the concern for the Stanford Cardinal are those 2 interceptions. And that's just on offense. On defense, Biggums, he's been able to scramble around, find a couple big passes, and it will be the Texas Longhorn offense taking the field to start the second half. So what adjustments does Coach Barrington have to try to get that stop and let his offense get downfield, perhaps a little bit more juice, and tie this game? Well, as we see the teams take the field to kickstart the second half, Nathan Henderson has returned for the Stanford Cardinal. We'll see if he could have a big impact this second half. But it's Manu K with a chop down on the outside, ending the first play with a gain of 2 for the Longhorns. Forces a 2nd and 8 as they look to go back to the air and open across the middle. That's going to be a first down for Paul. We're seeing a lot of crossing routes here for the Texas Longhorns as well, a similar style offense to that of what the Cardinal run. Looking downfield again for Paul, and picked off. It's Ty Holly, who keeps his feet, though struggling to collect his feet. He's going to just run it back to where he picked that ball off at, but the Cardinal take over at the 20. That time, the safety sits where he's supposed to, and he makes the big play for the Cardinal. Now it's just up to this offense to, 1, have a clean drive, and 2, tie this game up. They take over, and it's a run down the middle that half the offensive line forgot to block. Ogbogu again with another big play down the middle, the big old nose tackle here for the Texas Longhorns. 2nd and 13. Sorensen runs to the right-hand side. He throws, and it's caught, getting back to about the original line of scrimmage. And that's going to pay off big here, lessening how far they have to go on third. So just as he makes the big play, he gives up a play, and it makes it 3rd and 4 here. Hard count that time doesn't work. Longhorns look to bring the blitz. Throwing behind is going to find Thrash, who looks to weave between defenders to the 39. As the 4th receiver here for the Stanford Cardinal, often forgot about, but really he is a good receiver. Wesovich with a hard cut here, avoids the first defender, rolls the second, and drags 3, 4, and 5. A big run there for Joe, and a first down into plus side for the Stanford Cardinal. As they go back his way, he tries to cut underneath Thrash, ends up getting a little bit stuck. Only a gain of 5. We'll take that, though, on first down. Safety walks down right-hand side as the Cardinals set up the screen. A little bit too early of a throw. Again, the pressure causing some concern here for Sorensen, who handled it very well earlier this year. Hard count doesn't work. Bunch right-hand side. Throwing quickly and gonna have Bargava for that first down, as now Nauta shaken up. Might be a cramp with how stiff that leg looked. But for any former athlete, you know how painful those leg cramps can be. At the 33, Cardinal with a 1st and 10. And it's back to Joe Wesovich down the middle, trucks through the safety and fights to pick up 8. He's averaging 5 yards a carry. That was going to check out here as Jewell comes on out. The 2 receivers spread either side. And Sorensen dancing around. He finds some grass. Looks to get this one outside, and he will to the end zone. Justin Sorensen. Boy, did he need that play with the turnovers today. Read downfield, saw his receiver on the outside, used him to pick up that block he needed, and it sprung him to the end zone. And that marks the shortest drive for the Cardinal today, 3 minutes, 20 seconds. We're tied up here 21 apiece. Taking the handoff is Honeycutt down the middle, but it is Henderson with the tackle. Now we are being told it is a chest issue with him, so we'll see if there's any sort of shortness of breath or how that affects the play. Halfback screen to Bender, who avoids 2 defenders and finds the first down. With all the guys in his face, kind of miraculous that he was able to find that first down. At the 24, bringing the blitz, picked up well initially, but finally Bigham's taken down for the first sack of the game for the Cardinal. It's Alex Augustine. You've got Bigham's immediately calling for a flag. That's clean play, but you can get tackled. 2nd and 17, back at the 17. As they look to go to the air here, another screen. Bender forced inside by Waddle, but he's still going to pick up about 11. That does open up the playbook here for the Texas Longhorns with a 3rd and 6. Though they do look to stick to the air. And finding Paul, who shakes the tackle. Good news, tackle help comes in. Henderson, though, is back down on that field. He's given it everything he's got out there for his teammates. Vieira once again will come back out here. Just over 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, and read option for Bigham's. Read well by Tyrone Heggie. Helps bring him down and limit the gain to just 7. 2nd and 3 as they go back to the air. And under pressure, it's Joseph Henry. We need him to step up big in this one with Henderson banged up. That's a massive sack, setting up a 3rd and 12. He is the future of this defense, especially at that edge rush spot. Henderson expected to go to the league after this season, but squeezing that one over Rico Body, who looked to cut underneath it, but the ball was placed high. A massive conversion for the Longhorns as they get inside the 15. And they'll look to go to the ground game here. Bender uses his speed to get a little bit more outside. But a massive miss there from the Cardinals on another 3rd and long. 2nd and 5 in the closing couple plays here of the quarter. Shaking off the pressure and getting back to about the line of scrimmage. Henderson again. Got to appreciate what he's trying to do out there. But he's got to think about himself a little bit here. That's now 3 times he's had to leave the field. Vieira does not get the pressure, and it's Poe for the lead. Longhorns recover, and they run up this score 28-21 with a handful of seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. As the offense takes the field here for the Stanford Cardinal, we do have some bad news. Henderson is out the rest of this game and could potentially miss if we do get through the Longhorns in the national championship. And now we also see the Longhorns main man up front shaking up Agbogu. A bit shaken up. He'll make his way to the sideline. Does leave us with one final play here in the quarter. As it's motioned into the backfield. Quick flick it outside. That's Vallejo. He's got the first down and out at the 42. Sending us to the fourth quarter. Stanford is behind here 28-21 in what is their home away from home pretty much. Down in Pasadena. They need to tie this game, get that ball back, and take the lead. As it stands right now, their chance at a three-peat is under duress. Fourth quarter's underway at the 42, and it's some play action. Pressure builds and throwing it away, not a fumble. Well, you could definitely argue potentially for some intentional grounding. None given. 2nd and 10. Hard count. A little bit of some early jump, though. No flag on it. And scrambling is Sorensen for that first down. It was his legs that got the touchdown on the last drive here for the Stanford Cardinal. Giving him a first down here, crossing midfield. At the 46, it's two spread either side. And again, Sorensen scrambles, but the Texas Longhorn front seven has some speed. There's a reason that the offense of the Cardinal hasn't found as much success in what they typically do, and it is that speed that matches. Throwing again, this time under pressure. A little bit of a cleaner throw, but still comes up well short. 3rd and 10. Hard count is another missed penalty. But finding Vallejo, it's a first down for the Cardinal. Nauta definitely got away with one there. But it's 1st and 10 of the 34. Cardinal going hurry up here. Motioning across, that's going to be Vallejo from left to right. Some play action. And under pressure, Nauta gets home with some help. It's the 4th sack for the Longhorns. Cardinal are going to have to find a way to make them pay for sending that pressure. They lose 7 back to the 40. And they try to set up a screen, and they hold Jewell behind the lines. It's another loss of 10. It's now 3rd down and a near country mile here for the Stanford Cardinal, as they need about the 23-yard line. And it might be backing up even more here. No, they're actually going to get the Texas Longhorn edge rusher moving early. That now makes it 3rd and 22 rather than 27. Playing off coverage, safety sitting about 10 to 12 yards deep. And Sorensen, he throws downfield. Picked off one-on-one for Bargava. He left it short so he could try to come back to it. But it is Wilcox instead with the turnover. Because once again, the star DT here for Texas a bit banged up. Well, that is the 3rd interception for Sorensen. Almost worked as an arm punt on 3rd and 22. But they need some help, and it's going to come from their defense. Rico Body, he's taking it right back, puts the spin on him, and the Cardinal take back over at the 44. The defense comes up with a huge play and a rare turnover for Bigums this season. And with 6:08 remaining in this game, Cardinal get another chance to tie it up with time to spare as they go with a draw. Not much opening up. Coach Barrington is going to have to shake up his offense as he wants to see this team continue on, because right now they are just stone cold out there. With a check down to Jewell, a little bit of a late hit, but it does set up a manageable 3rd down here. They need 3 more. Hard count, should be a free first down here as they get Hall to jump early. The Cardinal could use with any of those free plays they can get. At the 32 here, 2 spread either side. Sorensen, once again, he's going to step up here, see what he could get. Tried to slide down, and now he stays down. Hall tackles him from behind. This could be a costly problem here for the Cardinal. And all their other quarterbacks have seen playing time this year. They bring out Sorgi. It's Wesovich in the backfield as they go with a run. Following those guards, and it's a first down inside the red zone. Nauta and Vaughn both injured on the play. And it was those two who were matched up against each other on that last play. Cardinal, though, they need the touchdown and might have to come here with their backup quarterback in. Rolling and throwing away. The Longhorns have plenty of strength and speed up front to match the Cardinal, taking away some of these scramble opportunities, and Sorgi is one who could scramble. Throwing this one out, and it's through the hands. It looked like they had Vallejo, but he took a shot from behind. 3rd and 10. Lockett motions all the way across. And Sorgi, he's having to step up here with space. He has the first down and takes the hit. It looked like he tried to give himself up on that play, but there just frankly wasn't enough room to. 1st and goal. And it's Wesovich. Behind the center, he picks up a few. The Cardinal, they might need to try to find this touchdown sooner rather than later, as this is just a tie. We're inside 4 minutes in the 4th quarter. Throw outside, and Vallejo holds on this time. Sorgi has to come in at quarterback as Sorensen is shaken up, and he delivers the game-tying touchdown here in the 4th quarter with 3:46 to go. Now, as a reminder, last year, these two teams played a close game, and late in the 4th quarter was a pick 6 from this Cardinal defense that sealed the game. Well, they find some more big plays as Lovelace makes the tackle, gets up and celebrates, but it looks like he's also going to jog over towards the sideline. We're seeing some massive injuries here for the Stanford Cardinal late in this game. That puts Bloom in at linebacker, and he's had a rough couple plays this year, and that's not a good start. The Longhorns run right at him, and they pick up a bunch of yards, setting up a 3rd and 2 on the keeper, and it's a first down for Biggums as now Jason Blair is shaken up for the Cardinal. Everyone's dropping like flies for Stanford. This is really where it kind of pays off that so many of these guys have seen playing time throughout the year, but it's a whole different level right now. As Honeycutt, he takes it down the middle, short gain. Now the Longhorns, they don't need anything crazy here. Take up the time and hit a game-winning field goal. Lovelace does return, though, for the Stanford Cardinals, 2nd and 9, as they run right at him with Bender. Waddle ends up bringing him down. It leaves 3rd and 5 for Texas. As they look to go to the air here, it's all covered well. Lovelace slows him down, and it's Joseph Henry. Count it as a sack. Cardinals stand as we hit the 2-minute break. And as the Cardinal offense hit the field, it is still Sorgi in at quarterback. We'll see if he could lead us to the winning drive, but it's Joe Wesovich here. Play 1, he's down the middle. Cardinal don't need anything fancy here, but they need a field goal to win this game. Taking their time out the gate here, we're inside a minute and a half. As it's Biggums, he cuts left, weaves back down towards the middle and down the hash. A big run there for the Cardinal to the 47-plus side. Again, that 35 is about where they want to be for Ritter. Biggums cuts again, and he's going to set him up down the middle at the 43. Neither side calling any timeouts. That clock is rolling. Hard count, no one jumps. It's right back to Biggums as he cuts right and is got enough for the first down, though. A free timeout for Texas as they do have an injured party down on the field. Well, Biggums has them down to the 36 with 33 seconds to go. And it's back to the run. Biggums just right down the middle. Nauta now injured. Timeout forced this time by Texas. The Cardinal want to make sure that they use up all of those timeouts, leaving no time in finding the game-winning field goal at the minimum. It's Biggums, left side. He's got some space. Make sure he stays inside the hash as it is a first down. And that has us down inside 15 as well. You expect him to set up a straight shot here. Biggums right down the middle. The clock will roll to 1 second, and they will call their final timeout, looking for the game-winning field goal. And it is Ritter. They tried to ice him. This is for the Rose Bowl, and it's smack dab down the middle. The Cardinal squeak by the Texas Longhorns and they win the Rose Bowl, sending themselves to their third straight national championship. But it came at a massive cost to the health of this team. We'll look to catch up with Coach Barrington post for an update on everyone. Longhorns lose their second straight Rose Bowl to the Stanford Cardinal. All of these games have been well played. They've been closely fought. Cardinal have pulled it off in the end. They'll have to do it one more time, as your player of the game had 18 rushing yards, 6 attempts, and a touchdown. That's just the kind of game this was. If the Longhorns won, it's going to Bigums. He had a great game out there. So did Randy Paul, a lot of big plays downfield. But they weren't able to move that ball late in this game, and the Cardinal come out barely. But to find the three-peat, we will have to beat Boise State for the third time this year. And we're going to have to get it done, missing 3 key players on defense. Nathan Henderson, our Heisman winner, will not be with us in our final game. Today was his last showing as he broke his collarbone. Dragan, I forgot to update you all on this at the end of the quarterfinal game. He also broke his collarbone, so his season is done, and we lost Alakai a little while ago. He remains out throughout the remainder of this year, so we are missing 3 guys that are a pretty big part of our front 7. Additionally, Justin Sorensen is coming into this game a bit banged up as well. He will have -2 for his medium accuracy, throw on the run, and his throw power with a -1 to his carrying. We'll see how much that is going to affect our offense as we face Boise State for the 3rd time this season. As a reminder, these games have gotten closer each and every time. The first one was 35-20 in the regular season finale. But then, in the Pac-12 championship, we barely pulled it off 24-22. The Broncos, they just took down the #1 team in the Ohio State Buckeyes 35-21. They got here by also defeating LSU 46-29, and then also sneaking by Georgia 13-10. But at least one thing we can say is this will be our final full game played in the Stanford Cardinal series. The Pac-12 is completely rebuilt, as the 2 teams in your national championship are both Pac-12 teams. So we could definitely pat ourselves on the back for that, but make sure you are here for that final episode by hitting that bear icon in the bottom right, or scrolling down, hitting that sub button, and tapping that bell icon so you get notified of when it is live. That'll be on Monday, which means on Friday, no matter the outcome of that episode, we are starting a new mini-series, setting us up for College Football 26. So make sure you leave us a like, get these boys amped up, and try to help correct what was probably a little bit of a sore locker room, both physically and mentally, with all those injuries and a tough game against the Texas Longhorns. We know what Boise brings to the table. They know what we bring to the table. But make sure you're at that table to close out this series, hopefully three-peating the national championship.